Hell's Kitchen Season 23 Episode 1 Review. Hey good people and fellow fans of Hell's Kitchen. I just finished watching tonight's episode of Hell's Kitchen, and if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate it a solid 6.5. In my opinion, the episode followed the formula for other season premieres of Hell's Kitchen. We as a viewing audience are introduced to the chefs for the season, we get to hear their stories for what motivated them to pursue their dreams, we get to see them cook their signature dishes, and the women won the challenge. Because the women won, they got to have dinner with Gordon, while the men were punished by having to help deliver food from the truck to the restaurant. And the episode ends in a cliffhanger with no dinner service or eliminations. So even though the episode format was somewhat predictable, I was glad to see that most of the chefs that are on this season of the show actually deserve to be on the show and don't appear to be part of the circus of chefs that are just cast for drama and ratings. The only thing that shocked me for this episode was learning that Christina and Jason are no longer the sous chefs for the red and blue teams. In this season, James returned to the show for the blue team, and season 17 winner Michelle is the sous chef for the red team. But over the remainder of the review, I'll give my remaining thoughts on the episode, as well as which chefs are contenders and pretenders for this season. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. Season 23 of Hell's Kitchen is a season that only has cast members that are head chefs competing in the competition. And in my opinion, that can be both good and bad. It can be good from the standpoint that most of the chefs should have some idea on how to cook a good to great dish. However, all of these head chefs are competing for one job, which is Gordon's head chef. And in order to become Gordon's head chef, these chefs have to put aside their egos and have some ability to lead and follow their peers, which might be hard because they consider each other equals. Some people who are used to being in positions of power have no idea how to do this. But the kicker is that these chefs will have to meet Gordon Ramsay's standards of leadership, which is something that has been proven difficult to do. Now that I've seen this episode, I'll say that most of these chefs are very talented cooks. In the signature dish challenge, there were 7 chefs that were given a 5 by Gordon on their dish, which is the highest number of 5s that Gordon has given on one signature dish challenge that I can remember. There was one dish that got a 3, and the rest of the dishes got 4s. And most of those 4 dishes could have been 5s with some tweaking. So it's been established that these chefs can cook amazing versions of their signature dishes, but the $1,000,000 question that remains is, can these chefs execute Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen menu to his standards? In other words, are these head chefs contenders or pretenders? In my opinion, there are several chefs that have a very good shot at making it far into the competition and potentially into the black jacket round. On my top 5 contender list, I picked Anne-Marie because she's a good cook and because she shared her story of how she met Gordon 9 years ago and he inspired her to cook. The last time we heard a story about a cast member that met Gordon many years ago, that person ended up in the top 3 in the black jacket round. I think that Anthony will make it very far into the season because his skills as a cook are very good and because he is one of the few cast members that has taken the process very seriously early on. In Anthony's backstory, we see that this opportunity is much more than a means of being on TV. Anthony is trying to do something that is life-changing, and I believe that he has the talent to make it to the black jacket round. I think that Hannah will make it very far into the competition solely because of her confidence and her ability to take culinary risks and have them pay off. I'm not sure how great her leadership skills are yet, but I believe that she has the talent to make it to the black jacket round. This next selection may be a little controversial, but I believe that Yuri has a great chance of making it far into the competition. Not only is Yuri a good cook, but he reminds me of Ryan from last season, in that he's trying to achieve the American dream. One thing worth mentioning is that during the men's punishment for the episode, Yuri allowed all the other guys to do all the heavy lifting while he sat back and delegated responsibilities. And what was interesting about this scene was that none of the guys who realized what Yuri was doing tried to call him out on it. Some may view this as a scumbag move on Yuri's part, but to me, this shows that Yuri is a leader and he's going to make his voice heard in the kitchen. Lastly, I think that Kyle is the sleeper for the season. Kyle came into the competition wearing pink zebra stripes, which takes a high level of confidence to do on Hell's Kitchen. But Kyle definitely knows how to cook, and from the previews, it looks like Kyle is enjoying several rewards as a member of the winning team. Now, unfortunately, there were some chefs that I'm pretty confident will not make it anywhere near the season finale, let alone the Black Jacket round. In my top 5 list of pretenders, Amber seems to be a very sweet woman, but I question her leadership skills, and I think that her background in cooking big game animals may limit her in Gordon's kitchen. I think that Brittany seems to be a very good chef, but I wonder if she has the skills to adapt to Gordon's standards and be the leader that he needs her to be. The same with Magali. I think that she has the potential to be this season's Daphne, but I need to see more from her to believe that she can perform to Gordon's standards. And it pains me to say this, but I think that Egypt will be eliminated prior to the Black Jacket round. I think that Egypt has a very good heart, and he really wants to be in the competition, but I'm not sure if he's mentally ready to be in the competition. And I think that he will crumble under the pressure that Gordon puts on him. And lastly, I think that Shant will face elimination prior to the Black Jacket round, due to his questionable leadership skills and limited culinary skills. The remaining chefs that I did not mention are stuck in the void right now, and I gotta see more to determine if they are contenders or pretenders. But from my vantage point, both red and blue teams have an ego problem, and I believe that both teams will have to go through some growing pains before they find their stride and show Gordon as well as each other that they have the ability to follow and lead one another. But this marks the end of my review. For the next 4 to 5 months, I plan to release my new Hell's Kitchen reviews on the same night that the new episode airs. So feel free to hit that like or subscribe button if you haven't already, and feel free to leave a comment in the comment section so that we can have a discussion about the season or the episode. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.